Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 192 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Those of you who give up drinking, give up on life. Therefore, I'm never going to stop drinking. Now, I have curtailed my drinking. I didn't even drink on Thanksgiving. I did have a small glass of wine, and everyone commented, in my family that is, they go, "Hey, Brian," because they don't call me the B-Man. My family that is. They call me Brian. They go, "Hey, Brian, do you even drink wine?" I don't. When I drink red wine, it gives me purple teeth, and it makes my throat dry. Hey, make yourself a little gay sex joke right there. I'm not going to do that because I am a mature individual, that is, the B-Man. But yeah, I drink a little bit just to be polite, to be cordial, to be friendly with my family, and just enough to irritate my throat. Wash it down with some water. But what I'm talking about was the next morning. It was nice not being hungover. There have been many Thanksgiving where later in the evening after the meal, I will start drinking, and I'm groggy the next morning when we have to go get a Christmas tree. And that's what I want to get into right now. So it's the morning after Thanksgiving. I'm not hungover because I didn't drink. Although I'm not going to chastise any of you that got a little tipsy on Thanksgiving. You're a better person than me. You're living more than me because you're drinking. That's a fact. But so I wake up. It's kind of become an annual tradition. Me, my sister, one of my sisters, who I won't name, and my mom. We go to get our Christmas trees, too, because I live with my mom and my sister has her own house. She's like a big adult, a professional, a real functioning adult in American society. But the normal farm we go to are pre-cut trees, by the way, because I'm not a man. Like, I am a man, but I'm not a manly man. So I get myself a pre-cut tree that my mom pays for. But I bring it home. You understand what I'm getting at? But the farm we usually go to that has the pre-cut trees, they went out of business this past summer. We just found out about this on Thanksgiving because we were just making sure they were still open, and apparently they weren't. And that always confuses the B-Man. What? When a family business goes out of business, what does the family that's not old and decrepit do for a living the next 50 years? Like, I understand, hey, you're the 80-year-old, you open up a pizza shop when you're 25, or you have this Christmas tree, apple-picking farm, and everyone in the family works there. Well, if the farm goes out of business, what does the 30-year-old son or daughter, what do they do for the rest of their life? That was the business. Like, you can't just go to business school when you have bills and a mortgage and you have your own kids. You kind of got to find something that makes as much money as the Christmas tree farm did. But that's for another episode, and I don't know shit about business. I was a political science major, which was such a waste of a major. Like, political science, I studied the Iraq War, the justification of the Iraq War, and whether or not the United States should have impeded on the Iraqi government, the people, Afghanistan. And in the year 2025, yeah, that was a waste of 4 years. A waste of a degree, a waste of 4 years of education. But again, this is all about the Christmas tree, not my education, my lack of education, that is. We'll get to that next episode, perhaps. A lot of rambling. But anyways, so we find ourselves a different Christmas tree farm nearby to go to. Thankfully, we live in Connecticut, so there's a lot of tree farms. It's very festive outside. Everyone's got their inflatables, their lights. Right now, there's a little bit of snow, a little bit of sleet outside. Perhaps you can hear it in the microphone. Probably not, because I'm pretty good with the audio. I know how to set it so you don't hear anything festering around me, just hearing my voice. Anyways, so we go to this new farm, and we're tepid. All right, we're like, well, let's check it out. We'll see if we like the trees or not. We'll see if we like the people who work there. If it's got that Christmas magic to it, and if not, we'll find somewhere else to go. So we go to this farm, me, my sister, and my mom, to get 2 trees. We pull up, there's some cars in the lot. As we're driving towards the street to it, we see cars coming in the opposite direction with trees, wrapped on the top of their car. That's a very good sign. So we pull in the lot. We start looking at the trees. Nice trees, not spectacular, not like instantly gonna make your dick hard type of trees, but serviceable. They were pre-cut. And the problem with them, though, they were tied to wooden spokes, which was frustrating because when you look at trees, especially pre-cut Christmas trees, at least what I like to do, and my mom and my sister, is we like to pull the tree out because a lot of times they'll be leaning against that wood barrier. So you pull it out and you hold it up straight to see, so you can see it from all the sides to see if there's any bare spots, to see if the trunk is crooked, if there's any a funky business going on that maybe that's hidden behind the rest of the trees. So, but these ones were they tied with rope around a wooden spoke, so you couldn't really pull the tree up vertical. So it was on an angle, so you kind of had to guess, well, is the trunk straight? So that was a first sign that perhaps we should have went to a different farm. But again, that's not my main gripe with this farm, Bishop's Farm, Chester, Connecticut. I'll call them out. So we actually find 2 trees. There were 2 large. I had to cut a lot off the bottom when we got home. But again, that's besides the point. We found 2 trees, good shape, no bare spots in the middle. These were not Peanuts, Charlie Brown trees. They were nice and full, thick, good girth. Again, make yourself a penis joke. I won't because I'm a mature individual. But we find the 2 trees. So we're like, okay, these are serviceable. Thanksgiving is late this year, so we only have to keep these trees alive for 3+ weeks. Let's go with these 2. The lady, as soon as we got there, told us each tree it's $100. Again, my mom is paying for the tree, so I have no problem with that. But that's quite a price for a tree that's already cut. Anyways, so I have the trees. I'm guarding them again because it's the morning after Thanksgiving. So there's a lot of people. Like prime, get your Christmas tree day, the day after Thanksgiving, or at least the weekend after Thanksgiving. So I'm guarding the trees to make sure that nobody else comes and takes dibs on the trees that me and my sister and my mom chose for us. You following? So my mom and my sister go inside the little store, it's a home mom and pop store to get somebody to come out and help us with the tree. Because usually when you go to a tree farm, to get yourself a Christmas tree, a burly guy will come out. Usually, he could be a college kid. It could be a grown man, with a family. But someone will come out, the flannels and the boots and the ripped jeans or the dungarees or whatever. He'll pick it up. He'll bring it to the thing where you push it through and it's got the netting so it gets all tight and round and you put on top of your vehicle. But the same lady who told us that every tree was $100 was a lady who came out. Now, she wasn't a petite lady, but she wasn't a fatty either. She was, I'm guessing, early 20s, mid-20s at the latest. I'm getting maybe 130 pounds. Like, physically fit, but not muscular. Right, and so the worker comes out with my mom and my sister, and we tell her like, "Oh, these are the 2 trees. These are 2 we want." And he says, "Okay, are you gonna carry these trees to the little ramp thing, the little table where you push the tree through?" And that's probably about 30, 40 yards away. And she's looking at me. So, are you going to carry these trees? And I go, no, you work, you're the worker. You're the one who's supposed to pick up the tree, carry it for us, put it through the little machine, wrap it all up, put it on top of our vehicle. But again, she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and I'm looking at my mom and my sister for confirmation. Well, you're the one who's in charge of picking up, maybe I'm a misogynist and I'm going to say, but you're a woman. Yeah, yeah, and you're not a butchy, muscular woman. If that was the case, okay, pick up my Christmas tree. But you're just a normal size babe who, yeah, picking up Christmas trees probably wasn't your dream job when you were 8 years old. But then she kind of guilted us, or maybe it was my mom. She guilted us into dragging our own trees. So I picked up a tree, and my sister picked up her tree, and we each dragged our own trees to the little ramp. And then we get to the ramp. Again, I don't know what you call it, like that hexagon thing where you put your tree through. But this one, like, there was no mechanical device. It was just like the little circle thing, and we actually had to push it through ourselves. So it was like I was pushing from the top of the tree, and my sister and this worker were tugging it like at the bottom of the trunk to kind of get it fitted through the netting. And me and mostly my sister was doing all the work. To be honest, like I just kind of stood there and kind of nudged it, pretend like I was doing the pushing, but I'm there. And the worker, this lady in her mid-20s, mid-size, not fatty, not petite, she keeps like looking at me, and we get it through, and then like I'm helping her with the rope, as is my sister, and then she's like, "Okay, it's okay to put on top of your vehicle." And again, I look at her. Like, what do you mean? I have to put the tree on top of my mom's car and my sister's car. Like that's your job. That's what you're paid for to do. And I told him, I know, I'm not doing that. And again, the advantage that I had is that I'm comfortable enough with my manhood. And in addition to that, there was nobody there where I had to prove my manhood. I don't have kids. So I had no little toddlers looking up to the B-man like I'm a superhero. My mom and my sister, they know I'm useless when it comes to things you have to do with your hands, things around the house. Like I have some utility, but when it comes to handiwork and having to lift heavy things, that is not me. That is not what I bring to the family. And girlfriend? Nope, didn't have a girlfriend with me. So there's no lady who like I use her pussy for. So like fuck. Like, if I fuck her pussy, like I can't let some meek little lady put the tree up for us. Like honestly, if I was fucking a babe and I wanted to continue to fuck her, like I would be forced into putting this tree on top of the car and tie it all up. But again, I'm a loser. I'm a loner. I know babes want to fuck the B-man as of right now. So I had no lady to impress, no kids to impress. And my mom and my sister know that I'm useless. So I looked at her, I'm like, no, I'm not going to put my tree on top of the car. That's your job. I know you're a female. And then my mom, she was saying the same. She said, you got to call your manager and tell your manager to get some more help. This is the biggest tree day of the year. And one little lady's going to put up all these trees. Like you need some male, lifty power. We need a teenage guy out there to help you out. All right, with a little bit more physical strength and endurance. Again, maybe there's some massages, but I think you all agree. When you go to a tree farm, to get a Christmas tree, you expect the person that's helping you move and drag and lift the tree to be a man, not a college-age lady who is not heavy set and not super strong. I don't think What the fuck do I care? There's no feminists watching this show, obviously, episode 192. But anyway, and then somehow, some way, I ended up lifting the trees on top of both the vehicles for me and my mom's tree and my sister's tree. And my sister and I were the ones who did all the work. And then as we're doing it, my mom keeps, like, I lost $5. Like, she came to the Christmas tree farm with, I don't know, like $50 bills. But she specifically had a $5 bill to give as a tip. But then I'm telling my mom, no, we're not tipping this lady $5. Like, don't you see? Look what's happening. Look what's happening. Right, you're looking for a $5 tip. You lost your $5 bill. You're scurrying all around your pocketbook, the car, around the tree. You're looking for that $5 that you lost to tip the lady who did no work. And while you're looking for that $5, do you not notice that your son and your daughter are the ones tying the tree atop your vehicle, your SUV? We're the ones who deserve the $5. Again, I'm not paying for the Christmas tree. My mom paid the $100 for it, so I'm not going to ask for a $5 tip from her. But again, when we got in the car afterwards, I chastised my mother. I go, you shouldn't have tipped her $5. She didn't do any of the work. Me and my sister, we did all the work. But she's like, well, I feel bad for her. The manager should have had another guy or at least a few more people working with her. I go, yes. But that's on the manager. That's not my fault. That's not your fault. And honestly, if I was working at a farm, let's say I'm in college, I'm a 21-year-old lady, the way I am now, I'm 165 pounds. I'm working at a Christmas tree farm as a lady, and I go to the farm the morning after Thanksgiving to do a 12-hour shift, and my manager tells me, oh yeah, you're the only one working today. I'm leaving. I'm becoming Jewish. I'm changing my religions. I'm denouncing religion. No, I'm not. No, I'm a lady. Like, I'm not muscular. I'm not going to lift and drag Christmas trees. Are you crazy? Go find a college guy to do this job. All right? I'll work with him so I can get the tips, but I ain't doing this alone. I'm walking off site, trying to unionize. So it was a fiasco. The whole ordeal. Bishop's Farms, Chester, Connecticut. Be better. Next Christmas, or next Christmas season, have a guy who can drag and tie up the Christmas trees, or at least have a couple of ladies to work together. Or what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Trees look great, by the way. It's one of my magical skills is I know how to put up trees straight in the stand without falling over. But again, when you go to a Christmas tree farm to get a pre-cut tree, you expect the guy working at the farm to do all the work for you. And then you give him a tip afterwards. You don't expect that lady to come out, point and go, you want that tree? Okay, well, drag it to your car, put it on top, and I'll meet you inside where you pay us $100. Like, no, honey, you tie it up. You put it on top of my tree. I ain't sexist, all right? If you're being paid, do the job. I am a little sexist. All right, moving forward. This next one comes from, if you're new here, please like and suck my dick. I don't really care about subscriptions. Again, I told you where I live, in Connecticut. Come suck my dick. But yes, please like and subscribe. But what we do here is I find things on Reddit, I read the post, come up with an answer for it. All right. And I was serious about the dick sucking. All right, moving forward. This comes from the subreddit, The 10th Dentist. Smartphones were a mistake, and PCs should be the only means to access the internet. Smartphones were a mistake, and the PCs should be the only means to access the internet. Smartphones in general were more of a net negative rather than a net positive for society in general, especially when you consider so many factors to be taken into account. What I want to do, honey bun, is I want to drag you out to the desert, dig a 6-foot hole, bury you alive, so you die. You are annoying. You're an annoying person, and there are too many people like you on the internet that all they do is complain about the internet and technology. Well, if you hate the internet so much and you hate smartphones, stop using the internet. Nobody's stopping you. You noticed, and the B-Man did, when I read her post, and I have it right there, it's a lot of generalities, right? There's nothing specific. It reads like a President Donald Trump tweet, or whatever site he's on now, where it's just you make a proclamation, but there's nothing behind the proclamation. That's what they give us examples. Well, we shouldn't have access. It makes society worse. How does it make society worse? Funny. No, I disagree. The phone, the smartphone that is, it alleviates the one thing that we're all scared of. And that one thing is boredom. All right, for millions of years, Homo sapiens, are we Homo sapiens, humans? Are we still Homo sapiens, or are we post-Homo sapiens? Again, I don't really believe in evolution, so whatever the fuck we are, we've been tortured with boredom for millions of years, all our ancestors, and the smartphone alleviates the boredom. And there's nothing more frightening than being alone with your thoughts for 20 minutes. And that's why I'll never, ever give up my smartphone. All right? Without that smartphone, if I get stuck having to think about my thoughts, all that depression, suicidal thoughts, why am I not doing anything with my life? Am I living up to the legacy of my parents? But when my parents were 41, they had 5 kids, they had careers. I'll never match up to that. All I have is 20 minutes of dick jokes. Am I ashamed to the family name? I'm never going to live up to their legacy. I don't have kids. I don't make a lot of money. This project is failing. No one knows who I am as a stand-up comedian. I have this pain in my arms that won't go away. All those bad thoughts start to fester. And the only alleviation I have is open up my phone. They start scrolling through X and Instagram and find somebody who has a worse life than me. And that makes me feel good about myself. When I see someone online who has a worse predicament in life than I do, that makes me happy. And not happy in the sense like, ha, 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 I'm better than you. It's like, okay, it could be worse. Like, okay, calm down. It's almost, taking the Tylenol. That's kind of what it does for me. So now the smartphone, it stops us from getting in our own heads. Everyone talks about, the thing that frustrates me most is that there is this trend where people will stop using social media. I went a week hiking in the Appalachian Trail. I had no internet connection. I came back and I was so refreshed and so clear-headed. And I had so much energy and all the dopamine and the negativity that social media gives us. It's just, I realized what that is and how it's not healthy for me. And to be away for a week, I feel so refreshed. But you notice, at least the B-Man does, they always come back to social media to tell us that they were off social media for an extended period of time. Well, if you really thought social media and the internet and your smartphone is that bad for your health, you would never come back to the phone. But you came back like a little child who tells their parents, I'm going to run away. And they pack up their backpack, they go to the end of the street, they wait there for 20 minutes, and they come back asking for a grilled cheese sandwich from mother. That's what these I hate the internet people are, because they always come back. Well, if it was that great without the internet, without your phone, you wouldn't come scurrying back to the internet to tell all your followers that you're back and that there was a period of time where you were not on the internet. So it invalidates everything you say, because you're on the internet talking about how awesome and how refreshing life is off the net. So, it's like, you lose the argument being in the argument online. And I'm sorry, like, I get it. I get it. Like, nature is beautiful. It's awe-inspiring. It's magical. It really is. You ever look at a tree? Especially now, it's December, it's winter time. The trees are naked. Personally, I think that's the most beautiful state for a tree. It's when it's naked without any leaves on it because it's vulnerable. And you can see its trunk. You can see what it's about, all its blemishes. So there'll be times where I'll get caught up. I'll look at a tree. And then you start to think about the tree, or at least I do. I'll look at the tree. And then I start, well, how old is that tree? That tree might have been, this tree that I'm looking at, like hypothetically, but I do this. Like, you'll look at a tree and go, maybe this tree's been here since the Civil War, maybe even before then. And there's a good chance there might have been somebody who was hung on this tree, like to death. And then this tree, after I die, this tree could be here for 100 more years, maybe hundreds of more years. And it stayed in this one spot. Maybe it's on a lot of land with a house. So, but people buy the house, they move, a new family comes in, but that tree is a constant. And it's seen everything that's gone on in that vicinity area for hundreds of years. And when you really start to ponder that, there is something awe-inspiring about that. But again, it's a fucking tree. So you go about your life after you have that little inward thought and monologue you have. You move on with your day because again, it's a tree, and then over there is another tree, and that's the thing about nature. There's always another one. All right. Oh yeah, appreciate the sunrise. Well, there's going to be a sunrise tomorrow, and yeah, there'll be a day like when I kick the bucket and I won't be able to see a sunrise. But once you've seen one sunrise, it loses its luster. Like I say this all the time. I really have no desire to go to space because I know how I am. I go in some space shuttle. I look at the little cubicle window and I look out and I see Earth. The little Earth, whatever it is, round, cylinder, flat, whatever it is. I'm looking out, I'm peeking, oh, wow, look at that. There's Earth. There's where we live. I put the over under 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, that is, before I look down at my smartphone and start seeing if I have any notifications. And that is because what's on my phone is more interesting than nature. It is. Like, once you see Earth, it's a globe. Okay. Do I have any likes on X? Like, what's the score of the game? Did the Yankees win tonight? Like, that's what I care about. Like, the Earth, it rotates around the sun. Like, all right. Like, have you watched the NASCAR race? It gets pretty fucking boring after the 5th lap because they're just doing the same thing. And that's all we're doing around the sun. So, like, nature is awe-inspiring, but you move on. You can't keep scrolling. That's what's so fun about the phone. You just doom scrolling. There's someone's online making a comment, making a video. That tree, it's there for hundreds of years, but it's a tree. Awe-inspiring, but again, it's a tree. So I can't go back. I will never go back to only having one computer and having it be in the family living room, like with all the family having to share it together. No, that's a world I will not go back to. Hang me from a tree before we have to go back to the PC in the living room that everybody uses. Let's go look at something. I have a friend of mine, goes by the name Burger. I don't know if he'd be offended if you called him Cheeseburger. I've never tried. Maybe I will next time I see him. I probably won't because I like the name Burger. The name Burger or the nickname Burger. I actually don't know what his real name is, but that is his nickname. His stage name is Burger, and it fits him. He's got long blonde hair. I don't know. I'm not really here to talk about his looks. I'm here to talk about or to compliment him, that is, on his lifestyle, his personality, which is in many ways a complete 180 from the B-Man. Like, Burger is fun, active, lively, whereas I'm boring and repetitive. Like, I'm so enamored with Burger's life. I think he's late 20s, mid 20s maybe, and he went to school in Wisconsin, and he's got a lot of debt. I think he might still live with his parents, so he's down financially. But he's a security guard, and he drinks, and he goes to weddings all across the country, and he does what do you call it? The derby. Where you take the cars and you run them into each other. He does that every year at the Derby Fair. Not roller derby, car derby. Whatever it is. It's like they drink PBRs, they get beat up cars, and they have like bumper cars. And whoever's car gets wrecked the least wins. But he has animals, reptiles. Like, he's walking around with snakes. And he's always up for a party. He has bonfires on the 4th of July. He's a very active guy. Like, he's a fun guy to hang with. Now, he asked me to come to all these things, and I always say no, because I got to edit videos. I got to go out and do stand-up. I got to put together reels. I got to make short films. I'm a workaholic. I enjoy working. But, like, honestly, that's why if there was a lady, a babe, that me and Burger were both attracted to, and she was deciding between the two of us, similar to, what was her name? Kelly in 90210, choosing between Brandon and Dylan McKay. That's a throwback. If you know the 90210 crew, I tip on my penis to you. But anyways, if that girl that babe, I was having to decide, well, who should I date? The B-Man or Burger? I would tell her, like, straight up. Even if I had butterflies, was doodling her name in the margins of my comedy notebook, and I was daydreaming about her every day and writing her poetry, I would tell her, go date Burger. Burger, he's going to give you a more fun life than I am, because Burger's always down for a party, and I'm not. Like, I like the party. But it's kind of I kind of got to schedule it out. And, you want to go on vacation? Do we have the money for that? I got to make these videos to backlog it so I could take those 3 or 4 days off. Or Burger will just go. Oh, you want to start a fire? Let's have a bonfire. We'll invite everybody over. He's an entertainer. Right? He invites people to his place to have a bonfire, to have drinks, to have theme parties. No, I like going to a bonfire. I like theme parties. I love dressing up. But I've never entertained people at my own place or my mom's place. Like, maybe actually when I was in college, I would have people over our house to go swimming and drink by the pool. But there was no prep work. It was just come over, swim, and bring some beers or some alcohols. But Burger, he's got so much energy, and he's always down. He's down for anything. He's a fun-loving guy, and I was just thinking about him the other night. And man, he's really living life. He's really getting the most out of his life, and I don't inspire to be that, because I know who I am and I know what I like, and that's not it. But I do wish I had a little bit of Burger, that aura to me. I do think that would make my life more enjoyable and more of a well-rounded person. So I do need to work on that and not be so regimented. But I look up to Burger and the way he lives his life. I'm going to tell him that next time I see him, because I think he knows it. But as guys, we got to tell each other when, we admire them. And I admire Burger for the way he lives his life. All right, moving forward. All right, look at the B-Man, pumping up his boys, pumping up his friends, being the hype man. We need more of the B-Man in life. That's what we need. We need more hypers. We need more, get hyped up. All right, you get it. All right, moving forward. All right, this next one comes from the lovely subreddit Penis Size. Have you ever thought about that? Penis size? Let's get into it. A penis size opinion from a girl. Ooh, okay. Hope you're over 18. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this all out there. Okay, let me restart that. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this out there. Have seen and been with a lot, all capital letters, of guys. Whatever number you think is a lot, we'll double that, LOL, which means laugh out loud. But when it comes to cocks, I've seen more below 5 inches than over 7 inches. I've seen a handful over 8 inches, but way more between 5 and 7 inches. So what I prefer personally is 5 to 7 inches in length and 4.5 to 5.5 inches in girth. I prefer a guy to be cut and a grower. Just this lady's opinion to cure some of your gentlemen's concerns. I do have a BF, which stands for boyfriend, so I'm not looking. Oh, all right. So thank you for your field research. And if there's anything that's for certain here at Verbal Graffiti is that we will talk about penis size, and we will get to this lady's studies, her research, on what her findings about the penis sizes. But there's some things we have to get to first before we get to the main dish, which is the penis and the sizes of the penises this babe has seen. The first is when she says she's been with a lot, with an emphasis on lot of guys, what's the first number that comes to your head? Because for me, honestly, it is 75. Regardless of gender or sex, when I hear a lot of sexual partners, that's for whatever reason, there's no rhyme or reason to it. That is the number that comes to mind. Now, that might be a blind spot for me because I do have a friend. I'm not going to say his name, but he confessed to me that he's been with over 400 babes. 400, which I think most of us can agree that is a lot, with emphasis on a lot. And this guy, he's a burly fellow, very handsome, tall, 6'3", 6'4", fun personality. So he cleans up on the dating apps. So if you think your girlfriend hasn't cheated on you, she probably has. Because the town in which I reside, there probably aren't 400 fuckable babes in the town. And the fact that this guy's fucked 400, there's probably a good chance the lady you're with, if you're in Connecticut, it's probably fuck this guy. But that's beside the point. And I don't know. To me, 75. But then I have a friend who's had 400. And this babe on Reddit's telling us whatever number you think is a lot, like double that. So I'm thinking this lady is well over 75 and that I have a blind spot. And that when someone says they've had a lot of sexual partners, 75 is not the number. The number needs to be upped. It needs to be, mid 3 figures, definitely over 100, probably between 100 and 500. If you say you've had sex with a lot of sexual partners. But again, that's an arbitrary statement. Because if you've had 5 sexual partners, well, then like 20 is a lot. But if you've had 100 sexual partners, then like 500 is a lot. And if you've had 1,000 partners, well then, 500 isn't a lot. So again, whatever number you think is a lot, but whatever number you think is a lot, we could probably discern what number you're at with the number of your sexual partners. So I say 75, make of that what you will. I probably just confessed too much more there than I should. So that's the first thing. Everyone's got a different number when they say a lot in mind. That's funny. Secondly, side dish here. This babe who's done all this research and gave us her findings confirms, I think, what we all know is that most babes and gay men prefer a cut penis that is a grower. That should not be a shock to any of you. That's pretty obvious. Regardless of the ethical debate around circumcision, we can all agree that a cut penis is more aesthetically pleasing than a penis with its foreskin. That's obvious. That's a no-brainer. That's a... I don't even know what that's a given. We don't need a multiple A or B quiz. That is a given. The cut penis with the mushroom on top, it has more character, right? It's easier. It's easier on the eyes. I don't care that I'll go to my grave, and I want to be cremated. So I'll go to the oven with that argument that the mushroom penis is more sexually appealing than the covered penis. That's it, and that's for the grower. I mean, yeah, if you could really choose between whether your man was a grower or a shower, you'd always want a grower, because a grower, like, that's a magic trick. Like that little thing between your legs, it's like this, but then somehow it turns into this. That's a magic trick. That's like those little toys, like sponges where they're small, but then you put water on it and it grows into a dinosaur. Of course, you'd rather have that than you just pull off a guy's Fruit of the Loom whitey tighties and his Wrangler jeans. You pull him down and he's got a 7-inch hog there. But that's what you get. Like you see it at 7 inches, like, wow, what's that going to grow to? But then it stays 7 inches and gets hard, but it's still 7 inches. Like, of course, you're going to want the magic trick over what you see is what you get. Every babe's going to want that, the magic trick. So that's obvious to me. And thankfully, I'm both of those things. I am a cut penis, and I am a grower. Now let's get to the main event, the main dish. What we all want. What are we all thinking about? What do we all want to know the answer to? How big, how long is your penis? And then how does that compare to every other penis on Earth and whatever planet has penises? I want to thank you for your service, your field research. I'm sure that you have plenty of scars on your knees conducting the research of finding all these penises to make love to. But again, I walk away from your research frustrated and wanting more. Probably similar to how most babes feel walking away from most penises, frustrated and wanting more. But you gave me your results. But your results didn't tell me anything I already didn't know, or what most of us didn't know. And your variances are too wide. Right? When you say the average penis is between 5 and 7 inches, and that you prefer a guy that's between 5 and 7 inches, honey, that's too big of a gap. Don't you understand? The difference between 5 inches and 7 inches is everything. Those extra 2 inches are what can save a marriage. Those 2 extra inches are the northern and southern hemisphere. Like those 2 extra inches, 5 inches satisfactory, 7 inches AP US history. I mean, that's all the difference in the world. So when you tell me, you come at us at Verbal Graffiti on Reddit and you tell us you prefer a guy between 5 and 7 inches, you're telling us nothing. Right? Do you prefer 5 or do you prefer 7? Because of what I'm thinking, as what I think we're all thinking is, well, you prefer 7, but you don't want to hurt all our feelings with the 5s. All right? Like that is, right? I mean, that's everything. You ask a woman, what do you want? You want 5 inches or 7 inches? Or what do you want in general? And you say, well, anywhere between 5 and 7. Well, all right. Well, what? It's like, what? I'm trying to think of an analogy, but it's so laughable because there is no analogy. That's those 2 inches. Like those 2 inches for a guy with 5 inches, like those extra 2 inches, that's something you rub the genie in the bottle for. Like that's something you wish for from the genie. You're asking for an extra 2 inches. So you can't come at us, Johns, Gooners, and tell us you like anything between 5 and 7. I need a more specific number from you and your research. And again, I'm not surprised by your findings. Like it's pretty, most guys are between 5 and 7. It's like, well, that's kind of is the average. Yeah, it's kind of like, I almost compare penis size to just height in men in general. Like, what's the average guy? Like 5'9", 5'10". Like any guy over 6 feet, clearly over 6 feet, like doesn't need to wear sneakers or boots. Like that's a guy with a 7+ dick. Like that's nice. Like he doesn't have. That's you know what it is. 7 inches is quiet confidence. 5 inches, you're antsy. You're comparing. You're asking your babe how you compare to every guy in her past. Right? You're always having to defend yourself. But about 7 inches, it's a quiet confidence. You know what you got, and you don't need a show. You don't need to brag about it. Again, those are different worlds. 5 and 7 inches. So I think it's laughable. It's almost like you're spitting on our face, peeing on our face. Like you can't say between 5 and 7 inches. Too wide of a gap. But again, with height, it's like, you like the 9 inch dick. That's like seeing a guy who's like 6'10". It's memorable. You'll tell your friends about it. You'll tell your coworkers later in the afternoon when you see him, like, hey, I saw a guy 6'10" in the subway. It was something. And the guys who are under 5'5", with the pinky dicks, the dicks that are under 4 inches, you don't even recognize them. Like as a man, same thing with a penis. You see a 4-inch penis, like, the name in the law, the name of anatomy, it's a penis. But like, I'm not gonna identify that as a penis. Like I'll use it, but I'm moving out in my life after that. So you did all this research, and I'm sure you had plenty of fun doing it, but your findings tell us nothing. 5 to 7. What is that? What? How many states are in the United States? Anywhere between 30 and 70. Imagine putting that on your quiz in 5th grade and see what kind of grade you'd get. So, all right, like great, 5 to 7 inches. Okay. That's a boyfriend dick right there. 5 to 7 inches. That's what all the porn stars tell me. That's boyfriend. That's go home to dick. Go suck a fat one.